No one plans to get addicted, do they? But they do. And they do in their millions and millions. It's estimated that over 210 million people take illegal drugs every day. It's also estimated that around 140 million people are addicted to alcohol in some way. 30% of Americans have some problem with alcohol in their life, based on hospital records, and that's the ones that have been diagnosed. So the numbers are probably more than that. The sheer number of people who get addicted to stuff is pretty shocking, and it shows that this is a genuine human issue. Now, for clarity, I am one of those people. I got addicted, but I managed to get myself off it and stay off it, and I'm still clean. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how I did that, so you can do what I did, and then you'll also be clean. Before I got clean, I checked out all the different kind of addiction clinics and, you know, different whatever anonymous meetings and all that kind of stuff. Nothing gave a definitive answer about how to get clean and how to stay clean, and nothing showed me what the end result would be of me getting clean. Nothing gave me anything to aspire to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what results you can get, and I'm going to tell you how to do it based on my own experiences and what I did. Essentially, what you're going to do is you are going to go clean, and then you're going to ride yourself, you're going to train yourself back into sobriety, back into fitness. It's going to take you quite a long time, and I'm going to go into detail about all the little things that are going to happen to you, and all the stuff that you can expect, all the good bits that are going to happen, all the bits that are going to suck, all the pain you're going to go through based on what happened to me. We're going to look at what you need to do, what you shouldn't do, how long it's going to take, what to do from month to month, what to do from day to day, how to deal with everything that happens to you, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go through it in this video, all right? So if you follow this exactly, you'll be all right. If you veer from it, there's a chance that you won't be. In terms of my qualifications for this job, anyone's free to look at my Strava and see the kind of rider that I've turned myself into, see the kind of level I got to, but it hasn't always been like that. 5 years ago, I was in a mess, an addict, okay? Different person. But over time, I trained myself back into fitness, I got myself better, and I turned myself into an absolute shredder, all right? I've never seen anyone go from what I was to what I am now before, and no one's done it that I've seen. There might be people who've done it that I haven't seen, but I've never witnessed that. Now, that might sound arrogant. I'm sorry if it does. It's not supposed to be. What I'm trying to say is that use my example, follow it, get yourself better, okay? Because it does work. Now, this video will focus on alcohol addiction, but the mechanics of addiction are the same pretty much whatever you're addicted to. So, you know, it applies to everyone really who's addicted to anything. So what you're probably thinking is, am I addicted to it? Which begs the question, what is addiction? Well, we're not going to go into the full details here on this video of what addiction is. You can Google that yourself, but essentially it's where you can't control how much you're consuming. Now, just to give you an example, that might be like, you know, you go out and you buy 4 cans of Stella yourself, and you think, yeah, I'll just drink these tonight. Then you get to the 4th can and you think, right, I'm going to go get another 4. So you walk down the shop half pissed, then you buy another 4. You drink them, you get to the 4th one again, so that's the 8th can. Then you think, oh, I'll get some more cans of Stella, because you're wrecked by that point. You go down the shop again, trying to act cool, but the shop assistant knows, yeah, it's that guy again. You buy 4 cans, tell the shop assistant it's for your friends, you're having a party, go back to your apartment, crack open another one, drink a bit of that, and then you black out at that point. Wake up the next day feeling like shit, right? And then stagger to work, feel like crap all day, stink, and then you get home and you think, oh, I've got 3 cans left, crack open a can to make yourself feel better. The cycle starts again. It goes, all right? You're addicted. You're an addict. Now, with alcohol being legal, of course, you know, society encourages it, says this kind of behavior is all right when it really isn't, and it's just going to fuck you up, right? Basically, if you're questioning whether you are an addict or not, you're an addict. Now, the very first step of this whole procedure is admitting this to yourself, all right? Now, there's no sort of cut-off point for what an addict is and what an addict isn't. You can be an addict just drinking 1 glass of wine a night, or you can be an addict, you know, chugging a handle of Jack every night, yeah? It doesn't matter how much you're taking, it's whether or not you can control it. It's whether or not also you think it's a problem. Now, that's quite a hard thing to do for a lot of people, because for a lot of people, they think if they admit they're an addict, then they're admitting defeat, or they're admitting that they fucked their own body up, or they're admitting that, you know, their life's over or anything like that. Well, let me tell you, your life is not over if you admit you're an addict. You either admit it and fix yourself using these instructions, or you continue going the way you're going and you end up dead. You make the choice. Now, once you've become an addict, once you've become addicted to something, you are addicted to that for life, no matter what anyone says. You cannot control it. That means that you can never consume it and be in control of the situation. whatever it is you're addicted to, will always get the better of you. The easy way around that is just don't consume it. All right. Now, if you're an alcoholic, that means you never drink alcohol. If you are addicted to cocaine, you never take cocaine. Heroin, you never shoot heroin. Right? Simple as that. You cannot dabble. You can't sort of go, oh, I know, I'm just going to drink on the weekend. I'll be all right. No, you absolutely can't. The only way to get over this is to stop it and cut it out of your life completely. There's no other way. Now, that is a very hard thing for a lot of people to come to terms with, and they almost get a sort of separation anxiety from it. They get a sense of loss. They feel like, oh my God, part of me's died. Well, yeah, the alcoholic part of you is about to die. Step 1, admit to yourself you're an addict. Say it to yourself. Step 2, you are going to have to come to terms with the fact that you have to cut this out of your life completely, and you can never, ever do it again. Ever. That's it. Game over. So the initial mental preparation is out of the way. You've admitted you're an addict, and you've come to terms with the fact that you are going to stop taking whatever it is you're addicted to, and you are going to sort yourself out. Next, it's time to start preparing. Lucky for you, we've got the internet. So the best way to get clean and stay clean is to track your progress. To do this, I recommend Google Drive. Get a Gmail account if you don't have one, and then sign into Google Drive. Install Google Drive on your phone as well, so you can check it anywhere you go. Now, the first thing you do is you're going to make a spreadsheet which tracks your daily progress. All you do is you put the dates down the first column. So that's today's date. The next column, you put a number. So today's date will be day 1. Tomorrow's date will be day 2. The next day will be day 3, etc. Then you need to work out, on average, how much money you think you've been spending on a daily basis on your addiction. Now, this also takes a bit of psychological digging, and it might be quite painful for you to admit, but you've got to work it out on average. So, for example, if you are drinking every day of the week, and you're drinking by yourself in the week, and on the weekend you go to a bar, for example, so in the week you're spending, say, I don't know, $15 a day, $20 a day in the week, and then on the weekend you're spending $100. So that'd be 20 times 5, that's 100 during the week, and 100 on the weekend, so that's 200 per week. So you divide that by 7, let's say it's 210 to make it easy, that would be $30 a day. So what you would do is then, you would just enter $30 into this spreadsheet in column 3 for every day you've been clean. Every extra day you're clean, you've basically saved yourself $30. Then what you do is at the top of the spreadsheet, do a sum total of how much money you've saved. You can either work this out based on the date if you want to do some clever spreadsheet work, or you can just manually add it up every time you check the spreadsheet or whatever. This is a fantastic way to keep yourself clean. If nothing else works, this will work because it shows you how much money you're saving every day. So everything's set up now. It's the moment of truth. All you do, really simple, is you just don't put any drugs in your body. Stop it. Now, this is easy for the first minute. For the first 10 minutes, it's pretty easy. For the first hour, could be easy, could start feeling a bit funny. 6 hours in, you're probably starting to think about it. You're starting to itch a bit. You're starting to feel a bit like, well, you know, you could go out. You know, you think, well, I've done all the preparation now. I can sort of put it off for a week and I'll start next week. No, you stick with it, okay? The next 24 hours are going to be pretty intense. Once you've got through these 24 hours, the next 24 hours becomes, if not easier, slightly different. So it'll break up the boredom, all right? By the 8-hour point, the addictive voice in your head will be starting to talk to you saying, go out and get a drink, go and get some drugs, whatever it is, yeah? Don't listen to it. Just sit there. Depending on what your social circle's like, you may get people asking you to go out. Don't go out. Now, at this point, you're going to start, as well as feeling like you want to take some drugs or drink some alcohol, whatever, you're going to start getting a bit bored, all right? You'll start sort of climbing the walls a little bit. Now, this feeling will be with you for about a month, I reckon, so get used to it. To alleviate this, go on the internet, watch loads of TV shows, all that kind of stuff. Just work your way through it. After 24 hours, you'll be very pleased with yourself, having gone through all that. Your first night, no doubt you'll be sweating like fuck, turning around in bed, you probably can't sleep, you might start itching. When I got clean, it was my legs that started to get really, really itchy, and I started to kind of like grind my teeth when I was asleep, and like the nightmares, the dreams you start having after like the first day, the second day, oh my God, like they're indescribably horrific. You'll start sweating. You have to change your bed sheets loads. It's going to be grim. But do know that this first period is relatively short. At most, it's going to last about 72 hours. Once you've got through these 72 hours of just being an absolute fucking wreck, then you can start putting yourself back together. Now, at this point, I must say, if you're getting off alcohol, right, don't try and medicate yourself with something else to soften the blow, because that doesn't fix the addiction. It just replaces it with something else, all right? You need to go through this horror. You need to go through the pain. You need to suffer at this point. This is all part of the process. If you don't suffer, if you don't go through the agony of this first stage, then it will be so much easier to relapse, all right? Because you will not have anything invested in it. You won't feel like you've gone through the horror of it, and you won't be scared of going through it again. You won't care about going through it again. So if you put a lot of Valium in your system and just sleep off the first 72 hours and then come out the other end feeling sort of all right, you might be all right for a week, then you'll just get back on it again. You get back on the booze again, because it won't mean anything to you. You have to go through this horror. You need to go through the pain. As bad as that seems, you just have to do it. Same with every other drug, all right? You're earning your freedom. Okay, so you are through the first 72 hours. You'll still be craving whatever it is you're addicted to, but you would have probably got used to the craving at this point. From here, you could start organizing things a little bit in your life. No doubt, when you're addicted to something, if you are quite heavily addicted to it, then the rest of your life will have suffered. Okay, now that would have been things like personal hygiene, your living arrangements, clothes won't be as good as they could be, your place will be a mess. There'll be something you can sort out. You need to assess your current situation and then start working through all the things that need to be fixed. Don't worry about human relationships yet. It's still too early for that. No doubt in your addiction you would have fucked a few things up with people. I mean, that's normal. Have a look around your house and see what needs cleaning. Change your bed sheets. Get the Hoover out. Clean the place up. Take all your clothes off the hangers and go through all the stuff that you've got and just find stuff that needs to be, chucked away or cut up and, used as rags to clean your bike that's, coming in the next part. Get yourself in order, all right? Once you've done that, you'll probably be on day 4. And at this point, some other physical things will start happening. Your liver will probably start aching. Now, that's totally normal, because your body will start cleaning itself out after 3 or 4 days. Don't worry about that yet. Even if it starts sort of pounding quite heavily, don't worry about it, okay? Just yet. If it's still pounding 3 months down the line, you can have a look at it. But at the moment, it's kind of normal for it to really sort of be aching, because that's your body cleaning itself out. It should go with that question. You should be drinking as much water as you can. Don't worry about what you eat at the moment. You can start, fixing your eating habits later. Just eat whatever you fancy at the moment. Just cane whatever you want, all right? Don't worry about your weight and all that kind of thing. That comes later. The other thing that's going to happen as well is probably you're going to get constipated, or you're going to get diarrhea. Or you're going to get diarrhea and then you're going to be constipated, right? It's going to happen. It takes a while for your intestines to level themselves off. For me, constipation and diarrhea took about, honestly, a month to clear. Other things you'll probably notice is you're going to get loads of spots on your face, on your back, on your chest, or on your arms, wherever your sebaceous glands are. After about a week, you'll start noticing that your fingernails will start growing a bit faster than usual, because that's your body repairing itself. By this point, you should be about 1 week in. That first week will have been fucking mental. Physically, mentally, you'll be pretty much exhausted, but you should congratulate yourself for getting through 1 week. Now, let's move on to the next week, which is when the fun starts. Right, so you're over the first week. Now it's time to start analysing yourself, setting a baseline for the rest of your life. You are going to run a series of tests on yourself to find out all the information you need to know to find out where you are. Now, it must be said at this point, you might find some stuff that you're not expecting. You might find some stuff that you're not happy with. You might find some stuff that shocks you. Don't worry about it. Through the training and through recovery, this will improve. You will have had to have gone pretty far into an addiction, do yourself any permanent damage, okay? Or any permanent damage that can't be made slightly better or much better through training and through lifestyle change. It's rare to find somebody who is too far gone, right? Who's going to die. If you are that far gone, probably you'll be in hospital and you won't be watching this video anyway. So for most people who are suffering from addiction, you're going to fix yourself pretty well. It will take time, but just go through it. These tests are divided into two parts. First, these are the tests that you can do yourself. And second, these are the tests that you need to go to a hospital for. The ones you can do yourself, really easy. The tests in the hospital are real standard stuff that doctors do all the time, so they'll know what they are when you ask for them. First of all, we'll do the tests that you will do yourself. So for this, you're going to have to buy some stuff. So get on Amazon, get yourself a set of scales, weighing scales if you don't have them already, and get yourself a digital blood pressure reader. Now these things are pretty cheap. Search on Amazon, there'll be loads on there. When you've been abusing your body for years with addiction, that can raise your blood pressure. So first thing you do then is you weigh yourself. You can either start a new spreadsheet for your body, or you can include it on the current spreadsheet that you're putting your daily money saving into, but you need to put in your daily weight. Okay, now the first day you'll probably get on the scales and think, fuck, I'm really fat, I'm well overweight. The more overweight you are, the more you're going to lose. All right, so that's cool, don't worry about that. Then you do your blood pressure. Okay, probably your blood pressure's high. All right, especially as you've just gone through a very stressful week and your body and your mind are all over the place, okay, in the early stages of recovery. So if your blood pressure's high, you know, again, unless it's really, really high, don't worry too much about it. You can bring that down. Get this stuff from Amazon, right? When it arrives, stand on the scales, look down and go, fuck, stick that in the spreadsheet. Again, do your blood pressure, stick it in the spreadsheet. Do this every day. And with your blood pressure, because probably, you know, a lot of people when they go through the early stages of withdrawal develop some sort of anxiety issues and some sort of mental anguish. You feel like, you know, maybe you become a little bit like you don't want to go outside. You become a little bit, you know, really sort of nervous and stuff. You may find that your blood pressure readings are elevated slightly or a lot. The way you get around that is you do multiple tests throughout the day. Try and relax yourself as much as possible before the test. So like you lay on your bed for, you know, 30 minutes, then do a test, do another test 10 minutes later, then another test 20 minutes later, and just do an average of all the blood pressure tests throughout the day to get a general idea of where you are. If when you've done those tests, you're like ridiculously fucking high, go to hospital, all right? Please. If one's a little bit high, one's low, one's a bit high, one's low, one's lower, and you're sort of within the range, that's okay to start with. Next tests are the ones we need to go to the hospital for. Now, you need to get a selection of tests to see what you've done to yourself. The first test is a fasting blood sugar. Now, you might need to go to the hospital on day one and ask for this and then go back the next day when they've arranged it, because with a fasting blood test, you need to have not eaten anything throughout the night. This will give you your fasting blood sugar so you know how far into diabetes you might or might not be. If you are very high with the blood sugar, again, don't worry. Through training and good diet, I know for a fact, speaking from personal experience, you can bring that down. You can do it. I've done it. Next, liver levels. Now, there's a few different tests they do with liver. Your liver has a couple of different readings you need to get to find out where you are. Again, if your liver's high, that can be brought down. I'm speaking from experience. When I got clean, my liver levels were pretty high. I wasn't on death's door, but they were higher than they should be. I brought them right down, and now my liver is completely normal. I have no symptoms at all. Next thing then, get a uric acid test, basically to see if you've got gout or not, which is a possibility. Get your kidneys tested, see if you've got any kidney stones, anything like that. And that's basically it. Get those tests done. Write down the numbers. Don't shit yourself if they're high. After monitoring and getting yourself checked again in, you know, a few months' time, if they're still high, then you can start talking to the doctors about, you know, medication and all that kind of stuff. But the chances are, speaking from experience, you can fix this yourself without needing to get medicated, especially with what I'm going to get you to do next. From here, what I suggest you do is just chill out for the next month. What you need to do at the moment is you just need to kind of decompress your body, decompress your mind, and just relax. The chances are you're going to be sleeping a shitload. Your body is going into recovery mode, all right? You need to just go with it. Just sleep as much as you want. Sleep as much as your body asks you to. It's recovering from all the abuse, okay? It's getting over it. Eat whatever you like within reason. Don't go out and eat an entire fucking wheel of cheese. But if you want to get a pizza, get a pizza. You know what I mean? If you want to have a Big Mac, have a Big Mac. Do what you want. Just chill out and just, you know, trying to sort of connect with the world again. Go and walk outside at night by yourself. Feel like you're on the earth, all right? Just get back into it. Now, there will come a point, either sooner or later, where a unfathomably huge, deep darkness is going to envelop you completely. It will take over your body and it will take over your mind. This will be like nothing you've ever felt before. It will feel vast in size and inescapable. It will literally put you on your back. You may be laying in bed when this happens. You may be standing up somewhere. But when it comes, you will know what I'm talking about. At this point, you will feel the lowest you've ever felt in your life. Nothing compares to this. You will be forgiven for thinking that you actually died whilst you were going through withdrawal, and this is the afterlife. It's that bleak. Everything feels worthless. Everything's ruined. You'll start to think about your situation. You'll start to think about all the things you've done wrong. You'll start to think about all the years you've wasted. You'll wish that you could turn back the clock. This is normal, and you will go through this, and this is part of recovery as well. Now, please understand that this does not last forever. It could last a fair amount of time, day, 2 days, a week. When you're at the absolute bottom, when you are falling into the abyss, and you don't know which way is up and which way is down, and all you can feel is blackness and darkness and cold, and there's nobody there, that is the lowest point, and you've reached it. Once you've just been completely absorbed by the nothingness of it all, you'll come round and then you'll start to feel a bit better. But again, this is something you have to go through. So be ready and know that it's coming. You won't feel this again after you felt it one time. You'll look back on it and think, fucking hell, that was extremely bleak, but you won't do it again. Once you start to feel a bit better again, now this might be a week, it might be a month, it might be 2 months, it might be 3 months, depending on, how fucked up you were. At this point, then we start working on the training. Don't try and push yourself into it. Get yourself feeling human again. Eat normal stuff, have regular meals, try and wake up at the same time every day. Your sleeping should be getting back to normal. Then, when you feel like you're ready, let's move on to the next stage.